How do you feel about earwax videos?
What does that mean?
It's like ENT doctors are like going into people's ears and pulling out the wax and dead skin and all that shit.
I need that done to mine.
It's like a pimple popper video, but way more intense. This is my next level. Well, I used to watch pimple popper videos all day long, and now I'm like, earwax videos are where it's at. And I'm scared of what might be next. I don't want to find myself on colonoscopy talk one day.
Ew.
I'm on that stuff.
Just watching people's colonoscopies, Tim, that's f***ing weird.
Hey, well, like not just colonoscopy, but like medical stuff.
Tim's like, oh, I love colonoscopies. I actually just bought one of those for myself.
Are we ready before I start pressing record?
I think so. I'm
I
trying
thought
to
you
read
were
through my
recording.
notes and make sense of it, but my brain is short-circuiting.
He's got a hair on his eardrum.
This is the Always More podcast.
Hello and hello. It is August 24th, and welcome to the Always More podcast, where we believe there's always more room at the table for honest questions, meaningful conversations, and deeper understanding. Today on the pod, we are talking about cave dogs, man periods, Mark Ruffalo, the end of the world, and so much more. But first, I am your host. That says Tim Lichty, but it's actually Chris Ford. I guess you're just filling in stuff now.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm your host, Chris Ford. Sitting across from me is who I guess was supposed to host today and just decided not to, Tim Lichty.
Hello, hello.
Sitting next to me to my left is Harley Bianco.
Woo.
And somewhere around here, there's a cat named Agatha Rune Lichty.
Yes.
She's sleepy.
She is chilling on her little, what do you call that? That's
Cat
a
tree.
Cat tree.
Cat tree next to the window. And
She's sunbathing.
In the sunlight. You should open the window a little more for her so she can, like...
she might freak out.
That's fine. It'll be funny to watch. Do it fast.
There you go.
There you go. So cute.
Oh my gosh, she's suntanning in the suntanning world.
She's a gray cat. She's not actually going to tan. She's covered in hair. She couldn't tan if she wanted to.
It's a... Anyways.
So, how are you guys doing today?
I'm good. It's been many moons since we recorded.
Yes.
Many moons. 2 moons have passed.
Because we recorded early for the last episode, so now
Yes.
we're back in our semi-normal schedule.
Yeah, because I went on vacation, and we didn't want you guys to know until I got back because I'm a private guy like that. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I went on vacation. It was glorious. Went back to Rotan again, and it is probably my favorite place in the world. Beautiful island,
It's beautiful.
perfect temperatures, water's great.
Beautiful people.
Yeah,
From what you've shown in the pictures and stuff.
yeah.
Just,
My whole family, basically, on the
Yeah.
island.
and happy birthday to your dad. By the
Right?
way.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday was his birthday,
Yeah.
as we're
Dad.
recording anyway. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And actually, I guess it'll be like a week after his birthday by the time you guys hear this. Yeah. So happy birthday, Dad. There you go. All right. So like my experience with the dolphins in Rotan, let's just jump right on in,
Yes.
Uh-huh,
All
that was
right.
cool. That was good.
right?
Get a
Got to hang out with
little
dolphins.
segue there. Ain't working now.
All right. We're going to start with our Rec and Rev for the week. This is the part of the show where we recommend and review some things that we have seen, heard, read, tasted, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
Let's start with Harley.
Whoa.
She likes
Sorry,
lasers.
I short-circuited for a second there.
Cool.
Anyways.
Cool. No doubt.
So mine's a movie. It's called Just Like Heaven. It has Mark Ruffalo and Harley. It's going to be a long episode, guys. Please bear with me.
That's all right.
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's her name.
And basically the summary of it, it says a lonely landscape architect falls for the spirit of a beautiful woman who used to live in his new apartment.
Oh,
And literally that's all I can really give you because
so it's a ghost movie.
yes-ish.
Oh,
But you have
I
to
thought
watch
you meant
it-
like he fell in love with her spirit. Like, oh.
No,
I felt a presence here.
she's a little spooky
Like
spirit.
she's a ghost woman.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But there's like twists in it that are really good. But
Does she lose her spoon? So
What?
she's Reese without her spoon.
Oh God. Yeah, pretty much actually. That's exactly what happens. But
That's
yeah,
the
it's
whole
really
plot of
good.
the movie.
It's a romantic, I guess, comedy.
A rom-com. I love a
So-
good rom-com.
Me too.
I'll have to check that
That's
out.
why I enjoyed it. So yeah, and it was very simple. You obviously expected what was going to happen, so it wasn't like any surprises. And it was just good for the soul. So
Good for the soul.
Yeah,
simple but effective.
I like it. All right, Tim.
13 Lives. That's the name of the movie. It's a movie by Ron Howard on Amazon Prime. And here's the description. 12 boys and the coach of a Thai soccer team explore the, cannot pronounce that, Tham Luang Cave when an unexpected rainstorm traps them in a chamber inside the mountain.
Oh.
And this actually happened. This is based
I
on a
remember
true
this
story.
I remember this story.
Entombed behind a maze of flooded cave tunnels, they face impossible odds. A team of world-class divers navigate through miles of dangerous cave networks to discover that finding the boys is only the beginning. Really great movie. Ron Howard delivers again. He just knows how to make a good movie.
He's a good storyteller.
Yeah. You have I forgot to write down the names. You have Joel Edgerton. You have is it Colin
Firth.
Firth? Is that his name?
Colin Farrell.
It's Colin something. Sure.
One of the Collins.
One of the Collins out there. And the guy who played Aragorn.
Viggo Mortensen.
That's him. Yeah. They played the three expert divers, and of course you had some boy.
You know, in that scene when he kicked the helmet, he broke his toe.
Yes.
Ah.
Did you watch that, by the way?
No, we haven't watched it. But yes, we talked about it. I sent him a TikTok about that. I was like, is this the thing that y'all do? And he was like,
100%, yeah.
Yes, 1,000.
Every time a Lord of the Rings fan is watching that movie with somebody that hasn't seen it for the first time, we're like breathing really hard, like freaking out, trying not to break, basically.
Squeeze it down.
I have to like wait a while though, because I just recently sent it to Hunter. In order for us to like watch it and for like me to like watch him go feral over this scene,
Yeah.
that'll be best.
Yeah, he may not say it, but you just watch his hands. He
knows.
He knows.
He knows.
But yeah, it's a great movie. Definitely a good like family watch. Yeah, highly recommend it.
All right. I remember the story, so I'll probably end up checking that one out too.
Yeah, it's good.
A lot of the times you guys do these Rec and Revs, and I do go watch them later on.
You should. This one you definitely should.
With
Except
the
for Ted
exception
Lasso.
Of Ted Lasso, yeah. I still haven't
Which I've watched.
I'll get to it eventually.
There's
Fuck
only
you. You're cool.
Wow. Wow.
No, don't give me that wow. You were like deliberately shoved it in my face like a week ago. Like, I still haven't watched it. Like, I know you haven't. Fuck you.
I don't think that's very Ted Lasso of you, Tim.
What do you mean?
I think he'd be disappointed in the way you're talking to me right now.
I don't know.
No.
I don't
Ted
think you've
Lasso.
watched Ted Lasso.
You haven't watched it. You don't know.
I wouldn't know.
Golly. What do you have, Chris?
All right. So my show is Dracula on Netflix. And I know you're thinking, Dracula's been around for a long time and blah, blah, blah. Absolutely it has. But this is a new take on Dracula, which is very similar to every other take on Dracula because there's not much original anymore. But this Dracula was made by Stephen Moffat, who's the creator of, or one of the creators of Doctor Who. So it's got a really cool, like a more British feel to it.
Yeah.
Starts off in like the 1800s, I think.
So 17.
1800s or so. And Dracula is in his castle or whatever. And then by the end of the movie, it's modern times and he's in modern England and doing his Dracula thing there. It's pretty cool.
Dracula
yeah,
thing?
Doing Dracula stuff.
1897 in
Cash.
Transylvania, blood-drinking count draws his plans against Victorian London. Series follows Dracula from his origins in Eastern Europe to his battles with Van Helsing's descendants and beyond. It's actually a pretty cool story. Van Helsing in this one is a woman, and I thought that was a really cool take.
Whoa.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of that.
No.
But I thought it was a really cool take. It was made and created by Mark Gatiss, who is Mycroft Holmes in Sherlock, the one with Benedict Cumberbatch. He's in a lot of stuff, but that's the one I know him from. And then, like I said, Stephen Moffat, Clace Bang, I think is how you pronounce it, Dolly Wells, all kinds of really cool scenes and things like that. And it kind of dives into why Dracula is the way he is and like the truth behind the legends and the rumors and all of that. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Those are very British names.
Oh, yeah, they're super British.
They're very British.
that.
Like I said, half the actors are in Doctor Who, so.
Yeah.
Incredible.
But there you go. I thought it was cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Moving right along, let's go to Tim's What If.
Okay, it's not creepy. The music makes it sound like it's creepy, but this one's actually...
It's usually creepy.
if you have any kids around, I'm going to give you like a 5-minute, you might want to skip this section. Because I found a question on Reddit. Giga Bilat on Reddit asked, what if males had periods too, but instead of blood, they had to flush out all the old semen out of their balls.
I do that pretty frequently. My wife is hot, so.
Yeah, you do.
I think they should, just because I want men to suffer.
Would it actually be suffering, though? Like, that's the question here, because...
Why would it not?
I don't think it can be considered a period if it's not suffering. Otherwise, it's just masturbation.
Right. That's exactly my thought.
So, like, it came with the cramps and the body pains
okay.
and the period poops and all of that.
Yeah. And then your testicles shrivel up for like a week.
Oh,
And it's not something. It's not something
Yeah.
that you enjoy doing. Like it hurts.
right. It's like
Like your whole body just shuts down for a week.
can you imagine, like, because there's
3
already
to 5 days.
there's already like a not a stereotype, it's like an actual thing, but like when you're a kid, like, or when you're a young man and you're just experiencing erections and things like that.
Nope, can't
it's-
relate.
I know, but it sucks because sometimes you'll be in the middle class and all of a sudden just rise and shine, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like it just happens. Or like if you have an attractive teacher, it's like, but this would add to that because you might be in the middle of your time of the month, and it's just like uncontrollable erection and spewing and pain.
We would have to have like
See, but like
some type of pad
a symptom
Yes.
of like,
diaper.
or a tampon that like goes in the hole.
oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Where's it gonna go?
How are you going to get it out?
Yeah.
in the urethra, Tim. Like a catheter.
Oh,
Jesus.
It would have to go in that way.
I think
Unless
you're better
you're
off
thinking
wearing
we
like a
have, like,
diaper
a-
of some kind or a pad.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. A pad would be the better option. I would wear pads at that point.
I guess the better question is not the better question, but the question at hand is: would it be through an erection or just because that would actually make it worse or not? If it's painful and it has to come out, it would suck as an erection then.
I think you would not have that.
I don't think we would have any kind of control over it at that point because it'd be like a period. It'd just be like
Okay,
your body just does it.
Yeah.
because that was my thought.
Like,
Like, man,
it's not like you have to get it out yourself.
right.
Your body just does it naturally.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could always take like birth control that fixes that, but at that point, we would have to have birth control that fixes that.
I'll tell
for
you
men.
what, that would solve a lot of issues in American politics.
All right, so we need a mad scientist out there to get working on this. Give men periods. I'm starting a new hashtag. Give men periods.
All right, that's what I got though.
I feel like that's gonna have a lot of
Interesting.
like meninist support, like male apologists are gonna be like, "Yeah, give men period." Wait, wait.
Yeah.
Ugh.
This should be free.
That's what we've been saying this whole time, bro.
Crazy dog.
All right. Well, that was a interesting
You know,
what if, I guess.
I got something stellar next time too.
Tim, I'm just gonna need you to like stay off of Reddit for a minute. Just like
It's a dangerous website.
maybe you should take
It
a break.
is.
You should take a break.
You should look at my saved stuff.
I don't think I want to. Not with the stuff that you're actually putting out to the public. I don't think I want to see what you're saving for your private folders.
Yeah.
All right, guys, moving right along. We're going to do our next section, which is...
What?
Come on, Tim.
Whoa.
Wow. Are we going to edit that out, or are we just going to leave it?
No, leave it. It's short. It's quick. Just start over.
All right. We're going to move on to our next section, which is...
What did I miss?
Tim, you're failing me, bro.
I know. It's been like 3 weeks. Give me
Dirt.
3 weeks. I was ready to go. I was like, all right, here I go. I'm ready.
It's my time to shine. This is the part of the
So
show.
excited too.
I was like, I'm ready to do this, guys. I'm pumped.
This is the part of the show where Tim screws up, and then we present to you some news that you probably didn't hear about. I'm going to start this one off because mine, much like your Rec and Rev, involves a cave rescue.
Hey.
Cool.
And I'm super pumped about it because
Caves.
I'm not too big on rescuing people. You know, less people, the better for our planet. But
Jeez.
Whoa.
it is what it is.
Hot take.
Yeah, that should have been Harley's outtake.
See, but I don't have the same belief on that. So
If you get stuck in a cave, you did that to yourself.
All right, Dwight. We need another
Just
plague.
Stay away,
in peace.
stay away from caves. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to be rescued from a cave if you never go in a cave. Am I wrong?
no.
All right, then.
no.
You don't just accidentally find yourself in a cave. Like, you went there for that reason.
Unless you're chased by a large feline.
Stay out of places where there are large felines in.
Some people
That's
can't
still
help it.
your decision. That's a chain of events that led you to that started with a decision.
Some people live in like around caves.
Move. Anyway.
Sorry.
So this headline really caught my eye because it starts off with my favorite word, dog.
Dog.
I just love dogs. Dog rescued after being lost in Missouri cave for up to 2 months. There's no large felines in Missouri, by the way.
That's not true.
Okay, well, none big enough to chase you into a cave.
There are mountain lions around. I'm going to Google
I'd
it.
fight a mountain lion.
You would fight a mountain lion.
I mean, I wouldn't go out there and search for one, but if one came up
Bobcats.
on me, I'd fight it.
yeah, bobcats are out there.
I'd fight a bobcat for sure.
Yeah, but they're like a.
Okay, but have you ever gotten into a scuff with your cat
Yes.
and you got all clawed
Milo
up and
hates
everything?
me. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, this thing is bigger. It's
But
more
I could
ferocious.
take
It's
it.
got bigger teeth.
Look, Milo's 8 pounds, and I can easily take her.
Yeah,
A
because-
bobcat's like 20, 25 pounds.
Okay, so
I could take a bobcat
cat
for
the
sure.
size of your kid.
For sure.
No.
Yes. Bro, I could take my kid easily. I can take a cat easily.
Yeah, of course
A
you can
cat
take your
the size
kid
of my
easily.
kid, I could easily take.
I
A
don't
mountain lion would be a little more struggle, but I think I could do it.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sorry.
team of spelunkers.
They can weigh up to 40 pounds, by the way.
Bobcats?
And their top speed is 34 miles per hour.
Okay.
And you can't climb a tree because they'll just follow you up.
I'm
there.
not running away from a bobcat. That's what I was just saying, though. I don't have to worry about speed. Just
Sorry,
punch it in
continue.
its stupid
He's going
face.
to run up on a bobcat. Okay, anyways, back
Just
to
like
the
that
dog.
10-foot duck, you got to get behind it and choke it out. A team of spelunkers, which are cave divers, working to map a Missouri cave, ended up rescuing a dog that may have been lost underground for up to 2 months.
Oh, poor puppy.
Rick Haley and Jerry Keene, who led the team working to map the Barome Moor Cave for the Cave Research Foundation, said they encountered the lost canine about 200 feet inside the main passage of the cave, located north of Perrysville, which are all Missouri places, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. The caving team, which sounds like an awful thing to be a part of, by the way, who were alerted to the presence of the dog by firefighters who had been contacted by another group of cavers. So cavers told the fire department, who told these other cavers. You just imagine that phone line.
Yeah,
Like, hey, we
yeah.
found a dog. Oh, cool. What do you want us to do about it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tell somebody. But you guys are cavers. Like, that's what you do.
You're already
You get
down
the
there.
dog. Like, yeah, but we don't want to do it. All right, we'll get this other group of cavers. Firefighters who had been contacted by another group of cavers used a duffel bag and blankets to protect the dog during the difficult climb out of the cave.
Oh.
Which is really
puppy.
sweet. They put it in a bag, protect
Yeah.
it, keep it safe. Haley said in a Facebook post that the rescue was a very tight, awkward vertical climb, handing her hand to hand upward toward the surface. So like a little chain of people just passing this dog up.
Oh.
I would have loved to have been part of that, even if it means going in a cave to save a dog. The dog, who was malnourished but uninjured, was identified as Abby, a canine that had been missing since June 9th, meaning she might have been lost in the cave for 2 months.
Wow.
Haley said he found paw prints near the cave entrance to a 12-foot deep pit, indicating that it was likely where Abby ended up underground. Barome Moor is the second largest cave in Missouri, and it is believed by the Missouri Caves and Karst Conservancy. There we go. To be about 21 miles long. So the odds of finding this dog are just like astronomical as is. And unharmed.
How'd the dog get there? Like, who's living?
It was in
like
a,
you said, who's living near these caves?
Probably chasing
was-
a mouse or something.
in a pit, and it like tried to get out of the pit, climbed into the cave instead of like out to safety, and then got stuck in the cave.
Well, I think it
Either
would
that or
probably
the
have not
dog
been
was
able to
having a
get out of
really
the
good time.
12-foot deep pit, and probably just found a hole that led you further.
That's
Yeah. I mean, dogs are like, look, love dogs, but they're not always the smartest things around.
They're not.
And so,
Some dogs are really bright.
yeah.
I'm guessing Abby wasn't, but she's.
I feel like
safe
every dog I've
and
ever
cute.
known named Abby has never been an intelligent dog.
Just a big, beautiful, dumb.
Dumb dog.
Or they're usually like a terrier of some kind that's really thick, sausage-like, with a tiny head.
Even if they're not small terriers that are sausage-like, they're sausage-like
Yeah.
dogs. They're bigums. For whatever breed they are, they're bigums. All right, Harley, what's yours? Your
Okay.
story.
So mine is 17-year-old Deasia Taylor invented a new type of suture to change color when a wound is infected.
Oh, interesting.
So she's from Iowa, and she won several regional science fairs in the state, and then eventually advanced to the national stage at the, I think it's pronounced Regeneron Science Talent Search, which is the country's oldest and most prestigious science and math competition for high school seniors.
It's pretty neat.
So the way she did this is through beet juice.
Of course.
the one-use beets have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because beets are disgusting.
And so she found that the root had the perfect dye for her invention, which is suture thread that changes color from bright red to dark purple when a surgical wound becomes infected. And so healthy human skin is naturally acidic with a pH around 5. But when a wound becomes infected, the pH can go up to about 9. And so changes in pH can be detected without electronics. Many fruits and vegetables are natural indicators that change color at different pH levels.
That's
so
cool.
she found that beet juice does that exact thing. So she said that I found that beets change color at the perfect pH point, which is 9, and bright red beet juice turns dark purple.
That is so cool.
Very cool.
So, and then you can tell that there's photos like on the actual article and shows that over a few days, like the more infected it gets, it starts turning a gray color as well.
Ooh.
So you can't miss the fact that it's like
yeah.
infected.
Yeah, you just got to keep an eye on your sutures and you're fine.
Yeah. And so
That's super cool.
Really, really creative.
17. I love Gen Z. I mean, these guys, they're
I know.
cool.
And what's
life-saving.
crazier is she wants to go on to be like a lawyer. And I'm like, dude, you just created this incredible like science, like scientific medical like invention.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, law. Get into
I
it.
mean, maybe she wants to get a law degree and then also
You
get a PhD and be a doctor
Change
of
the medical
law
field.
or
Well, this is true, but you can also be a
med-
law.
medical lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe that's what she wants to do.
like
I don't know.
Ted from Scrubs, but better.
Yeah.
Very good.
He was an
Ted,
awful
he
lawyer.
was horrible. Yeah.
Oh, yikes. But
Why do
she
you only
also
have
wants
a
to get a
happy face
patent.
button and a gun in your bag? Well, one is in case I get sad. The other one's in case I get really sad.
Oh. Tim, what you got for us?
All right, we're moving out of the Midwest and going all the way to Europe, where a Polish museum asked visitors to stop having sex on its premises.
Been there.
Fantastic.
I've got to do that too sometimes.
All right, so
You
according
dang kids.
What's funnier is like I am Polish, so I'm very intrigued to like
all right.
what's going on in my
Let's see what your
the old
people are
country.
doing.
In the old country.
See what Aunt Jemima's doing. All right, according to notes from Poland.com, Fort Gerard, part of the 19th century former Prussian fortress in, can't pronounce that word,
Can't either.
we'll call it Swin, close to the border with Germany in northwest Poland, says that several pairs of lovers have been caught in flagrant, excuse me, I couldn't read that for a second.
Flatulent?
Flatulent. Woo! Flagrant this summer on the recently upgraded high-quality CCTV system.
Oh,
quote-
and you're caught in HD.
Yes.
That's crazy. 4K.
Quote, our guests are kindly requested, how can we put it, to Ars Amandi, which means the art of love, in the museum. No Ars Amandi, no art of love, in the museum, please. Fort Gerard wrote in a Facebook post, for some time the museum has been equipped with cameras and if they could talk.
So this has been happening for a long time. They just now are seeing it in 4K.
Yes. Yeah, like at first I guess it was like
Why?
blurry blobs, I'm not sure what's going on, but now it's 4K quality. You're like, oh, that's some
That
stuff.
blurry blob is back again. Let's get some new cameras. We see if we can figure it out. Oh God, no.
So that's what like everyone's attracted to that corner for.
Ah.
This reminds me of when I worked at the movie theater, and you know the instance like a couple walked in the movie theater, like, yeah, they're gonna try to do something. Like you just kind of know.
Yeah.
I'm sure these guards are like, guys,
Fuck, it's
just-
happening again.
Museum's
don't.
closed today, guys. Just no.
It's like,
But
oh,
those
but I see
people are
all
walking
those
in.
people.
Yeah, but you're not allowed.
Yeah.
We're closed. We're at capacity. Sorry.
You just missed it by 1 minute. Sorry.
Just missed it.
The museum noted that its recordings are checked before being deleted. It suggested that visitors unable to keep their passions in check could head for the plentiful deserted beaches in the vicinity as a more suitable location. Kudos to these guys.
Look, we're not saying you got to go home. You just got to get out of
You
here.
just can't stay here. Okay.
There's a perfectly fine beach down there. Just go down there.
I just think the fact that like it's so, I mean, it's obviously not fine, but like the fact that they're not tripping over people doing like having sex in public.
Yeah.
While in like America, you can become, what's it call it?
Sex offender.
Yeah,
Sex
you can
offender.
become a sex offender. It's mind boggling to me.
Right.
And they're just like, no, but you can go over there. Like,
I'm really happy for you, but let's
Let's
move it
get
along.
out.
Look, do what you want to do, man. I get it.
I understand the art is inspirational.
Look, your
But
partner
please.
is hot. That's fine. I get it. Just we have 4K cameras, and I don't want to have to explain that to my boss.
Yeah.
There's a beach right over there nobody else goes to. Try it there. Here, take my towel.
My towel.
Yeah, that's what I got, guys.
Very
All
good.
right. Well, interesting story, I guess.
I guess.
I mean, I might have to check out this museum. That's all I'm saying.
Ah.
We're going to head to a short break before my wife calls me and yells at me for saying weird things. Stick around. We'll be back in a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today to discuss one of my favorite topics of discussion, the end of the world.
Explosion!
Huckleberry explosions.
Men.
Yeah, basically. So quick note, as of late, we've noticed that a lot of our non-interview episodes have become episodes just revolving around our favorites.
Yeah, Chris.
Some of the subjects, which, it's fine. We can talk about whatever we want. It's our podcast.
I know.
If you don't like it, please listen to it anyway. So from now on, we actually want to find a little more detail and actually take those deep dives that we had been talking about taking.
Yeah.
Deeper understanding,
Deeper
that kind of
understanding.
thing. Bring some new insight to the table. So while we're providing some research and specifics of the subject, we will, of course, still be keeping some of the fun of the what-ifs, ideas, dialogues, the things you guys know and love us
Yeah,
for.
all the shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Yo. Sorry.
I don't know if that was like a combination of Ariana Grande and Lil Jon. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god.
All right, let's dive right on in with some of the research that Tim did and put our names on,
Yeah.
like a high school project.
This is plagiarism at its finest. So I'll be talking about, I think you pronounce it etymology,
Yeah.
which is basically just
That's what the
like
kids are saying these
the
days.
words
Yeah.
and like the meanings of the words and the things why they exist.
I don't know about you, but I like to think about that kind of stuff. Because we
You've always been big into that though.
I know, but we use language all the time. So the fact that we don't know where our words come from, it has purpose to it, and how we got, because it actually have huge historical significance. Because the way we use certain words or don't use certain words often is implicated based on, especially racial issues. Not this case,
Right.
but a lot of cases.
Fair enough.
So the first word that pertains to end of the world stuff that we think of is apocalypse. And so the Christian end of the world story is part of the revelation in John of Patmos's book, Apocalypsis. I think I'm going to butcher all of this. Please bear with me. And then feel free, anyone, to chime in whenever. And so that was rendered in 1050. And then it just gradually changed to apocalypse, the actual spelling, in 1230, and then Revelation by Wycliffe. I think it's John Wycliffe,
Yeah,
if
I
I'm
think so.
correct, in 1380. But its general sense in Middle English was insight, vision, or the hallucination. So the meaning of a cataclysmic event is more modern.
Yeah.
That wasn't actually seen in the Oxford English Dictionary until 1989.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It's insane to think about things like that.
To think that a lot of words are not there until recently.
Like,
but that's
you think
whatever.
they're so much older than they are.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But just because, apocalypticism is the belief in an imminent and end of the present world, and that's from 1858. So basically, it's kind of starts from, if you break down the actual word, apo is Greek, which means to or undo, and then bear with me, kaloptine is the ending of the word, which is also Greek, which means to cover. So put it together, obviously that means uncover. And then that translates into apocalypsis, not spelled in the modern day, but eventually after some obviously Christian, middle Old English, Old French and Latin, is how we got the modern word of apocalypse.
Well, there you
So
go.
the next word is Armageddon. So this is according to
I'll take this one. So this was an astonishing movie with Bruce Willis, where there was a meteor.
I was like, go ahead. There's a lot of words on here.
I don't want to close my eyes.
Wow. Yeah, that movie.
Killer soundtrack.
What was the actress's name? Because that was some awakening stuff.
That was some sexual awakening.
What was it? She was from Lord of the Rings.
Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
I was like, Gwyneth Paltrow?
No.
I don't know why I'm thinking Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't know why that was the person I was thinking, but no. Yeah, Liv Tyler.
All right.
Hello, dear. Okay, so the next word when it comes to end of the world is Armageddon. So etymologically, maybe think that's correct. Armageddon is a great and final conflict of truly biblical proportions.
See what they did there.
The name is referenced in Revelation 16:16, which mentions demons gathering up kings and their armies for the ultimate battle between good and evil at the end of the world, to the place in the Hebrew tongue called Armageddon. Scholars take this Armageddon to be from the Hebrew Har Megiddo, or Mount Megiddo, a site of important battles for ancient Israelites in central Palestine. Romantic poet Percy, that looks like Bish to me.
It sure does.
Percy Bysshe,
maybe.
Shelley gets credit for the earliest figurative use of Armageddon in an 1811 letter.
Again,
which is still super recent.
Yeah.
The next word is cataclysm, which when we think of Armageddon as the ending of the world and fire and fury, usually a cataclysm. Cataclysm?
Yeah, you said it.
Cataclysm.
Cool. Literally ushers in a watery demise. So instead of everything burning up and fire and falling apart, it's washing away like the ark.
But yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I think of. So it comes from the ancient Greek cataclysmos, and that's the Greek spelling for it. That's crazy. Which also means a deluge.
A deluge.
Deluge?
Deluge.
You're a deluge.
Whoa.
How dare you?
The word joins the prefix kata and then klizn, which is wash, to be washed like a wave. In English, cataclysm first appears as a metaphor for great upheaval, cataclysms of blood in a 1633 play.
Whoa.
A few years later, we have evidence for cataclysm in its own etymological thank you, sense of a great flood, especially in reference to Noah and...
There you go.
Cool.
What was that again?
And last but certainly not least, this is a lot of information, not just for you guys, for me.
We're all learning something
Wait,
here.
literally. And then last but certainly not least, there's Doomsday, which I always think of... I feel like I heard that a lot as a kid for some reason, instead of things like apocalypse or... like Armageddon, I heard Doomsday, and that always freaked me out because I thought of bombs instantly.
I think it's because it sounds like boom.
Yeah. So my brain was like, "Oh, we're gonna all die in war."
I mean, that's probably how we're going out, truthfully.
Yeah.
Isn't it called the Doomsday Clock? Isn't that what that's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember learning about that
And
too.
right now we're at 11:59 and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So Doomsday is found in Old English Gospels as Domesday, referring to Judgment Day, or literally a day of judgment, blah, 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 blah. When some Christians believe God will judge all of humanity at the end of the world. The Old English Dom variously named a statute, decision, or sentence, especially a condemnatory or punitive one. But its doomsday associations push doom towards its general sense of death and destruction.
Culturally speaking, there's a lot of also just other references. You have Doomsday, which is a Superman villain, and then you have Doom, the video game.
I think that's what I associate it most
Doom.
with.
Dr. Doom. Yeah. Interesting.
I think of the video game, and I just remember it being hell.
Mhm.
And I was like,
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
It scared me as a child.
Fun fact, we are 100 seconds from midnight as of January 20th this year.
Fun.
So there you go.
Anyways.
Well,
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on. All right, so Chris, we're talking about ancient ones.
yes.
So examples of all of the things that I just named.
Yeah, so obviously there's there's a plethora of ones that we could talk about.
My top 2 favorite ones, because I lived through them, are 2012
Yes.
and the Y2K.
Y2K.
I did not live through. Oh, I guess I sort of did, but like I was a baby, so I really didn't have any concept of it.
You would have been fine.
I remember hearing like rumors and stuff about it.
Or
but
dead.
I would have been dead. I would have been like, oh,
We
I have
all
no
would've
concept
died.
of this. It is what it is.
So Chris, let's talk about 3 of them. And I'd like you to start, my good sir, with number 3.
All right. So number 3, I guess we're just working our way up.
Yeah.
Is there any ranking system
Not
behind
at all.
these, or just like this is the first one?
There is no
you-
ranking.
Okay. This is the 3rd one you picked.
Yeah.
All right. So the Hopi in North America, Native Americans, believe that the world is cyclical, which is in a cycle, and has succumbed to catastrophes 3 times before due to people's disregard for the planet and its creator. So we are in the 4th world at the moment, the 4th age of man, if I may. The first time the world ended was due to fire. 2nd time was because of ice. 3rd time, a flood caused it.
Do you think this is where Tolkien got the idea for the ages and stuff in Lord of the Rings?
I do not think that at all, but it is interesting that it could relate that way.
Huh.
Tolkien is very focused on England.
Well, I know that, but like he's obviously bringing in mythical,
Yeah, but not from the natives.
Well, no, I'm not talking about just like this tribe or anything. I just meant like in general, like because it's not just with this group of people; it's also with other civilizations.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I think it's really interesting that a lot of like civilizations that have no contact with each other have very similar mythology.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's like,
That's some food for thought.
I don't know if that's like celestial something, or if it's just like human psychology, or what the deal is. but
Aliens.
It's aliens. Aliens. That's my favorite video on YouTube. So we are in the 4th age at the moment. The first time the world ended, like I said, fire, then ice, then flood. It's pretty insane to think about. In 1958, White Feather, Hopi spiritual leader of the Bear Clan, revealed the 9 signs of the end of the 4th world, knowledge that had been passed down from his ancestors. The signs were that white-skinned people with thunder sticks would take their land.
Holy
which,
shit.
boom. End of the
Okay.
world right there. It happened.
Cool.
Spinning wheels with voices and longhorned buffalo-like creatures would appear, also happening. Iron snakes would spread, trains. Huge spider web would cover the country. I mean,
Rose.
roads, sidewalks, whatever you want to call it. Stone rivers creating mirages would cover up Hopi land. The sea would turn black and all life in it would die. So we're like 1 away from
We're damn near close.
Getting pretty close here.
long-haired people would go to Hopi land to learn their traditions, which is happening now, and in the 70s, hippies. And a blue star would fall from the sky with spirit messenger who would take off his mask during a sacred dance, ending all Hopi traditional practices. So aliens. Or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just a movie.
Or it's an airplane.
Maybe both.
Could be a movie about aliens.
There you go.
Maybe he just saw the future. You ever think about that? Like people that are prophesying things, like they're seeing the future 100%, but they're just seeing like a movie.
A movie from the future.
They just don't understand. Like somebody's like, a giant meteor's coming. Like, bro, that's just the plot of Armageddon. Like, it's not actually happening. You came to the future and you watched a movie. Like they don't know what they're seeing. Like it could be that. Who knows?
Oh man.
Following these signs, the world would end in a series of calamities such as earthquakes, floods, famine, the whole usual thing. Those living on Hopi land would be safe and see the rebirth of the 5th world, though. So my goal in life now is to figure out where that land is and buy property.
Make it to the 5th. Interesting.
Actually, I don't know if I want to survive. I think I'm on this Gen Z train lately. Like, I don't want to die, but I also don't want to be here for like an apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's worth trying to survive. Like if I know it'll be quick, I think I might just take the L.
Oh my gosh.
Take the L.
All right. Here's another one. This is the Buddhist end of times, which by the way, I didn't know they had one.
So I knew that, but I don't know a lot about it.
Right. Okay. So again, like Harley, forgive any lapse of language here. knowing how to pronounce anything. The Buddhist version of the end of times is the most relaxed one and does not involve the world being destroyed.
Yeah.
It is predicted that at some point people will start to forget the teachings of the Buddha. They will stop following the 10 wholesome courses of conduct and start following the unwholesome ones with acts such as murder and theft. People will stop displaying compassion in the teachings of the Dharma, right? And will be forgotten. However, a new Buddha, Maitreya
Yeah.
Buddha, will be reborn and show people the path to nirvana. Currently, he lives in Tusita, heaven, waiting to be born into our world.
I like that one a little bit
I
more.
like that.
I
yeah,
do, but
that's
I
nice.
feel like even then, if people start forgetting all the Buddhist principles, then regardless,
I mean,
it's
aren't we
not
there
going to
yet?
be peaceful.
Oh, no, it's definitely not, but it's not going to be the end of the planet. It'll just be the end of humanity,
Oh,
which
Cool.
somehow to me is a lot more calming.
Yeah, at least
like
though.
if all of us get wiped out, sure. Just as long as the
But
planet.
like Agatha
Yeah.
will be fine.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Right.
She'll find a mouse. And
Probably.
she'll find another partner and have little kittens and stuff. It'll be great.
Yeah.
It's like that TV show. Never
If
mind.
that's what she wants. It's like the
If
game
that's what she
Stray.
wants.
You guys played Stray yet?
No,
I've heard about
I
it.
need to.
So I downloaded it. I have it. Y'all are more than welcome to come play it at any time.
yes.
But basically, you're just a cat. It's a cat simulator,
With robots.
but it's an end of the world, like post-apocalyptic survival situation
Yeah, yeah.
where you're just like roaming this world with robots and no people. It's pretty cool.
I'm down.
I love it.
All right, Chris, take the last one.
Yeah. So the last one is the Aztec
Here it is.
end of the world, which a lot of people are like 2012. That's the end of the calendar.
Wasn't that Mayan?
I don't know. I never listened to it anyway.
Okay.
But there you go. 2012 was supposed to happen. It didn't. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. The Aztecs believed that 4 worlds had already existed. See? This is
That's what I'm
talking about.
saying.
This
That's
is
what I'm talking about.
And been destroyed by the gods
Come on, you can do it.
Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl.
This is actually why I gave you the first and the third.
Because you're racist. Got it.
Whoa.
No, because I have an easier time pronouncing these words. That's all.
Because you're better than me, Chris.
So they were thus living in the 5th world. In the 1st world, I'll try this again. Tezcatlipoca had turned himself into the sun.
That's cool.
But when Quetzalcoatl knocked him out of the sky with a club, he got mad and made jaguars eat all the humans. Bro, that's
Epic.
intense.
That's a good. I like that
It's like,
story.
I'm mad at you for knocking me out of the sky.
So screw
So
all
I'm
of
going to kill
these guys.
all of them.
Yeah.
It's like Greek mythology.
The two gods created a new world, but when the people stopped being religious, they turned them into monkeys.
No,
Which
Oh.
I guess that makes sense. Quetzalcoatl had enjoyed how sinful they had become, so he got angry about their fate and killed them all with a hurricane.
Wow.
Bro,
What?
like, could you
What?
imagine getting turned into a monkey and then murdered by a hurricane?
Yeah, because he's like, yeah, I kind of really liked that, but you changed him, so I'm just gonna wipe him out. Don't think they should exist
I
anymore.
don't like that.
It's like, I enjoy being a human, but being a monkey's pretty chill too. I mean,
Yeah.
I can eat fruit and bugs, and
still have
my
opposable
God,
thumbs?
what the hell is that? Done. That's intense.
I
Yeah.
love how they went back to being friends though, after the first world, and they're like,
I mean,
I'm
if
kind of
you're-
bored. Let's make
Yeah.
another
Yeah,
one.
if you're an immortal god and there's like maybe like 10 other people you can hang out with, like you gotta see.
Just give it a few
But can
millennia,
they-
you'll get over it.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine? They were like, shit,
They're frenemies.
dog, I'm kind of bored.
They're
And He's like,
frenemies.
yeah, me too.
Bro, you just want to fight?
Yeah, why not?
Let's go
It's
outside.
like, we can destroy the next one.
In the next 2 worlds, the gods Tialok and this one,
Ooh, man.
Chao Chiu Tilku were tricked by Tezcatlipoca into destroying them using fire and floods. The
Wow.
5th one that we are still living in was believed that it would be destroyed by earthquakes.
Wow. You know what? This makes me really excited for the new Black Panther movie because the Namor character is going to be played not in like this Mediterranean Atlantis, but it's going to be more based in
Yeah, the Aztec.
Central America. Yeah, and I'm excited to hear like all the culture and the language and stuff. Makes me excited about it.
I'm pretty pumped.
Man, obviously I didn't include a lot of the crazy religious ones because we kind of already know about them. But just like hearing all these different stories and seeing some of the similarities and hearing it's crazy stuff.
One of my favorites is from Parks and Rec. That guy that he reserved the park for the end of the world.
Wait,
Or he wanted to reserve the park for the end of the world.
Here's how it goes.
And Leslie Knope was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, park's taken for that day."
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I must have had the wrong. Is the 12th okay?
The 12th is open.
End of the world.
Yeah, he's just like, that's the day the world ends, the 12th. I was mistaken.
Yeah.
It's the 12th. That's pretty great.
Man, do you remember growing up just hearing about all the prophecies about when the actual days would be? It was Y2K. It was something to do with Bush or Osama bin Laden or one of those things.
I saw a TikToker recently that grew up very similarly to us, the evangelical world, and her thought process behind the end of the world was nobody knows the time or day. So to prevent it, every morning she would wake up and in the mirror say, "Today's the day the world ends." Oh. That way, since nobody would know the time or day that it's going to happen, if she is confident that that's the day it's going to happen, it's not going to happen that day. So for 12 years, she single-handedly prevented the end of the world.
We'll get back to it, please.
We need to keep her alive.
That's what I'm saying. She was like, "Yeah, I don't do that anymore." I'm like, "And you see what's happening? You should start doing that."
This is your job. It's the only job you have.
You had one job. All right. I think let's discuss a little bit about what we think might actually happen. Let's get into some of the meaningful conversations.
The real world scenarios. I don't know. I mean, for a long time, a nuclear fallout always seemed very unlikely because it's you're basically killing the world, both the world itself, but also just humanity in general.
Yeah, they don't care though. The people in charge do not care. Trump was literally selling the nuclear codes to Saudi Arabia,
and I'm just, as more time's gone by, I'm just you know what? These idiots probably would.
They 100% would. Well, I've got a shelter. I'll be fine.
Right.
They don't care. They don't care about anybody else.
But then I think, would it even be worth it to live after that?
Well, that's my point. It's nothing to do with, it's pure idiocracy.
Yeah.
That's all
it's
it
just
is.
Power.
100%.
They are not thinking that far ahead.
They would rather be a king of the
3 people than
than be somebody moderately powerful in a world where everyone has
their own thought.
the rights to live, basically.
Yeah.
Be king of the bone pile.
I think mine, a realistic one for me would be bio.
Ooh.
A biohazard type deal.
Yeah.
Just because
we have a pandemic or intentional biological warfare?
I think probably
either way.
warfare. But obviously a pandemic can lead to that.
Yeah.
But
see, even that, it's still dangerous within itself because how do you stop that from spreading to certain, everywhere, the whole world, your own population? So, if it's North Korea trying to kill us, eventually it's going to get back to them.
I mean, yeah, probably. But at the end of the day, it's a power thing.
Yeah.
Again,
they would care more about themselves.
Same as the nukes. They're not thinking that far ahead. They don't care.
It's true. Yeah.
But I think that would be more realistic just because I feel like the immune systems we have as a world is just not great.
I'm thinking climate change is going to get us.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to actually end the world. From what I've been reading from scientists, it's it's not going to end the world, but it's going to screw us up. It's going to do some
reduce
damage.
That population down.
Yeah.
I saw this.
It's going to set us back millennia. Yeah, 100%.
I saw a TikTok that was talking about. I'll have to send it to you guys, but basically it was this girl trying to explain what climate change is, and that this group in Europe or whatever decided in 2012 that the climate of the globe is increasing by 1 degree or 1.5 degrees. And it has already done so, and that probably by 2030, it will go up to that 1.5 degrees. And then a lot of people get into the whole thing of what is climate versus weather? But weather is obviously more temporary, but then you notice the significant changes each summer it's getting hotter or each winter it's either getting colder. Texas is froze over, you know what I mean? And so
the extremes are getting more extreme.
Yes. And she was just explaining in a very simple way, and it wasn't like aggressive by any means. Like it was her pretty much having a conversation with herself, what it means for the climate of the world to increase by 1.5 degrees. But that it would probably be worth it to, not let that happen.
Yeah.
And start trying to.
You guys ever played Horizon Zero Dawn?
No, but I know what it is.
So that's a pretty cool, I think, very realistic way of looking at it, because it's like the whole thing is brought on by this technological advancing society, much like ours, where everything is based on fossil fuels, and eventually like the planet gets to a point where it cannot sustain human life anymore. So they have to terraform the whole planet again, which is going to take centuries.
Yeah.
So they come up with this program of like these robots that are supposed to help terraform the planet, make it livable for humans again, while most humans are living in these like colonies that are underground or inside mountains or whatever have you. And they're supposed to be raised and trained by the people that are currently living. As they age and die, the new generation trains the younger generation until it's finally safe for them to reemerge and come back out and start life again. And obviously everything goes wrong, because a video game wouldn't exist without something being a problem. But it works out pretty cool, and I think that's very similar to how the world is going to end. Man-made climate change. Or not the world, but like society.
Yeah. Yeah, if worst case scenarios, you're gonna reduce, coastlines are gonna go back, and that's gonna be that's where 98% of the population lives around the world, is around coastlines.
Yep.
So that's gonna drastically change just everything. So yeah.
That's like the biggest drawback for me wanting to live in Rotan. Like, it's an island.
Yeah.
And while my family property is on top of a hill,
how tall is that hill?
is it tall enough to save my life? Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think it is, because the ocean is walking distance.
Oh, yeah.
But, it is what it is. So I think, those are probably some very likely scenarios: nuclear holocaust, biological warfare, or climate change. Those are probably the three most likely, actually.
Yeah.
But let's get into this. What do you think would be more difficult to survive? Nuclear fallout or zombie apocalypse?
It depends, on the type of zombies, one.
Yeah.
100%.
If it's anything like, what's that one with Brad Pitt?
World War Z.
Oh, yeah, we're
if
done.
It's anything like that, no thanks, I'll die.
No, I got diabetes. I'm safe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, because the way that it's a terminal illness, technically. So, like, the way that you're safe is you have a terminal illness. So as long as I let my blood sugar be like 200 and plus for any time I'm going outside, I'm good. They're just going to walk right by me.
You think people with AIDS would survive?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Not
AIDS,
saying we should do
tuberculosis.
that, but
it is manageable.
in order to survive.
Yeah.
All you got to do is take a pill. But, I mean, you have to be if you're taking the pill, they make you untraceable. So, like, the zombies would still, like, come after you. So it's got to be, like, cancer or tuberculosis, diabetes, something that'll kill you.
I wonder if Huntington's would trigger that. It's the disease that's genetic, that you don't know you have it until you know that you or your family has it.
Oh, yeah,
and
maybe.
you could just die randomly.
Maybe. That's an interesting thought process.
I mean, yeah, if you die randomly.
I'm thinking, though, like, Walking Dead zombies, like, the more likely case.
I mean, potentially. But
See,
I don't know if that would be an enjoyable life to live.
No. See, that's the thing about The Walking Dead. Like, maybe I'm just never... obviously, we've never been in that situation before, but, like, they're slow. Like,
You would think,
you would think an army could take care of it. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too hard, or we just like just not enjoying the fun of it. But it just feels like if that were to happen, I feel like we could handle it.
Yeah, I think 100% I could deal with, like, slow zombies.
Especially, like, I don't know.
I
don't know.
I always say, like, the only way I'm not surviving a zombie apocalypse, if they're the slow zombies, is if I'm patient zero.
Right.
Outside of that, I'll be fine. Like, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
We going to be all right.
I mean, at this point, too, in our society, we've experienced a lot of things. So it's like, if a zombie starts coming back, we're going to know real quick.
Yeah, like patient zero, as soon as they're, like, snapping at people, they may get, like, 3 or 4 people before somebody's like, oh, that's a zombie.
Yeah, right.
Boom.
Right.
Done. Prevented.
Yeah, slow zombies. I think
Save
we
the
would
world.
do better. You ever play Fallout?
That's what I was gonna mention.
I have 3 different versions of Fallout, and I've not played a single
You
one of them.
kidding me?
I've only played
That's
one,
my
but
favorite
I have
video
Fallout
game.
3, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76.
4's good.
New Vegas is top tier.
I haven't played
Fallout
any
New
of them.
Vegas. If that was the case, I don't think I would want to live.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
It's gnarly. Like the creatures that form from like nuclear blasts. No.
Yeah.
No.
Look,
No,
look,
no,
look.
no, no,
I
no.
have a friend that actually used to live like 10 miles away from Chernobyl, from the fallout rain of Chernobyl, and he can count on one hand like 8 different times he's survived. So it'd be fine.
You're funny.
One
You get
hand. Wait a minute.
You're funny. Yeah, I think if it's the slow zombies, I think we have a better chance with that than we do with the nuclear.
I would
fallout.
take fast zombies too, though, because like you can.
You talking about World War Z fast zombies?
But then I also think, have you ever played Left 4 Dead?
No.
Oh.
Yeah,
Or what is it called? The Last of Us?
The Last of Us.
Oh yeah.
See,
100%.
no.
Like fast
No.
zombies, like The Last of
Yeah.
Us, I could take.
No.
World War Z, no, because they were fast and smart.
Yeah.
Like 28 weeks later, no, because they're fast and smart.
Uh-huh.
Resident Evil, as long as they're like the baseline zombies, sure, but the like higher tier zombies, definitely not. But if they're like The Last of Us or
Even The Last of Us had those crazy ones randomly, though.
yeah, but they could not like go outside into the light.
This
So
is
as long
true.
as you stay away from buildings where a fungus would grow,
Right.
you're fine.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
So
still,
that's
like,
what I'm
it
thinking.
just...
I would rather do the zombies because at
think
bare
so, too.
minimum, I get to kill something.
And there's still life on Earth.
Like, what do you want me to do? Shoot a nuclear explosion?
Right.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Pew, pew.
Yeah. But I think the biggest thing for me is the fact that there's still, like, you can grow stuff when there's a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
You can
point.
still
You
eat
can
and
reestablish a society,
Yeah.
and you don't have to wait 30 years for the fallout to dissipate.
live.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would take the zombies
All right.
if I wanted to survive.
Jesus.
That is the question,
It
genuinely.
is what it is, man.
Oh my gosh. Continue, please.
All right.
Making this sad on me.
Welcome to life, Tim. Life is sad.
Especially when it comes to an apocalypse.
Yeah,
Oh,
bro.
yeah, I guess
This
you're
is
right.
the end of the world.
I guess so.
Speaking of which, let's talk about some of our favorite apocalyptic entertainment.
Yeah.
So, as it was mentioned, The Last of Us, probably
Yeah,
the,
that's a
the
good one.
best. The
Yeah.
best.
It's
out there.
it's the best game for sure.
Oh, I guess I'll still leave it.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think. I'm looking at everything else on our
I
list.
just picked movies. I didn't even think about video games or books or anything like that.
Yeah, I think
I didn't think about books.
of all the games out there, The Last of Us is at least the most beautiful, well-made one. Fallout's definitely fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, Last of Us is just something special.
Pokemon.
Sorry?
I would say Pokemon is probably one of my favorite apocalyptic situations.
I don't know enough about it, so I'm going to take your word for it.
Oh, bro, there's this whole theory that like Pokemon is our world now, just like 100 years in the future. There's a massive war. There's all kinds of nuclear fallout that actually turns our animals into Pokemon and some of our people into Pokemon. And that just becomes like the next thing. And like human and animal evolution is Pokemon. The world starts to calm down a little bit. And then there's another war that kills off like 80% of the male population between the ages of 18 and 35 because you don't see those types of people in the Pokemon world at all. And then Ash Ketchum shows up like 300 years from our time period right now. It's an insane theory. I'll show it to you later. But it's a post-apocalyptic theory. Like
Okay.
the world almost ends and then they bring it back from the brink.
Yeah.
And the Pokemon world starts.
And so they catch them.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let me go through mine
yeah.
real quick then, since we're just kind of shooting off the hip here. There's a book called The Road by Cormac McCarthy, and I first read this when I was a junior in high school, and my God, it is so good. The book is made to where it starts off in like regular, I don't know what's the proper word, grammar and everything, but when you get further and further into it, it starts losing punctuation, it starts losing like certain grammatical rules of it, and it shows the degradation of, is that the right word? Degradation? Yeah. Of just humanity and of all that. So, yeah, really, really interesting. We talked about The Walking Dead. I mean, it's just if you started it back when it started, it's worth it.
Yeah.
I read the comics before it became a show, so I was really excited for it. And I think they took some fun liberties that worked better for the show. Obviously, they didn't follow the same exact storylines, and I think that was a good decision. Not because the comics are bad, but because if you read the comics and watched the show, you're like, this is lame.
Right.
But since they like started to split, you're like, okay, now there's a reason for me to watch the show.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that was a good decision.
So yeah, that was. They're actually about to finish out the series. The Book of
Finally.
Eli. Yeah, I know. The Book of Eli is a movie with
Denzel Washington.
Yeah, Denzel Washington. Is it Mila or Mila Kunis?
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis. Looking back at it, it probably wasn't that great of a movie, but I enjoyed it.
What
back
are you
in the
talking
day.
about? That movie is top tier to this day. I watched it recently.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It still hold up?
It holds up.
Okay, well,
It's
maybe I'm
good.
just remembering it wrong, but like, it's definitely exaggerative. And you got what's his name as the villain? Gary Oldman. It's definitely like this. It wasn't nuclear. I think it was climate actually. But it looks that way. It looks like a nuclear fallout.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's kind of like this really cool religious one where he's on this journey to save the Bible, so to speak.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. But it's really interesting. Snowpiercer, that one
Also really good.
high quality. I haven't watched the show yet, but the movie Snowpiercer.
I haven't seen the show either.
It-
But the movie had Chris Evans.
yeah, it is good.
Top tier.
Good
And
stuff.
like movies like Snowpiercer and Train to Busan mostly take place on trains. You wouldn't think like, oh, this is going to be great. Like,
Yeah.
how do you have such an involved story with such a small
Right.
space? It's so cool.
You have to have really good writing in that kind of
Oh, yeah.
space. It just, yeah. Another one you kind of mentioned earlier was 28 Days Later. That movie, man, I remember
Top
watching.
tier zombie
I remember
movie.
watching that as a kid, just being freaked the flip out. Like we got to be ready for this. Like
We gotta do something about this. Guys, why are we not doing something about this?
yeah, that one's a creepy one. It's really just it's one of those like it was an indie film, I think. Like it was a really like low budget, but it was just quality
But
stuff.
it was good.
And the last one, A Quiet Place. Man, that movie is just good stuff. It's good horror. It's well written. You don't need a lot of dialogue and quality stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
I recently watched A Quiet Place too, and that one also holds up.
It's good.
Like they're both individually good movies.
Yeah.
So I liked it. For me, I Am Legend.
No, you no.
If you're real, you better tell me right now. The mannequin. Oh man, that killed me. Such a great movie. That whole situation where, and that would be more like Harley's idea of the end of the world. Like that was a disease that basically wiped out almost all of humanity, and it was basically just Will Smith trying to cure it for the rest of forever, not even knowing if there was anybody left to cure. I thought that was really cool. Shaun of the Dead. Great comedy based on all of the zombie tropes that everybody loves, from Dawn of the Dead all the way up to Zombieland and all of that stuff. So
Yeah, it's good stuff.
kind of mixing all of that stuff into a British comedy I thought was a great idea. The original War of the Worlds,
Movie?
the radio broadcast. This is one of my favorite pieces of media because of the effect it had on real life. Like, people would tune in not knowing that it was a radio broadcast of like a science fiction show.
Right.
They thought like
also a novel.
aliens were invading.
Yeah.
They really thought this was happening when they turned on their radios, and people were like
Flipping out.
panicking.
Yeah.
They were killing themselves. They were robbing their neighbors. They were having a complete meltdown as a society. So they had to like periodically in the middle of the broadcast stop and be like, this is just a story. Everything's fine. It's not really happening. Back to War of the Worlds. Like, I have those original or digital versions of the original recordings. I have it on
So I watched the movie with
album
Tom
as
Cruise.
well. I have it on vinyl.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
I can
But
imagine.
I do have it on vinyl if you ever want to borrow it and
Yeah,
listen
that'd be
to it.
fun.
It is such a cool piece of media.
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes.
Hey, it's good stuff.
I thought that was really like
The newer ones?
the movies were like kitschy for sure. The show is definitely kitschy. It's like 60s TV show. but I thought it was a really interesting take on the end of the world. Like, what would be the next society to pop up after humans
yeah.
basically screw themselves over and kill most of us?
Right.
Wall-E.
Wally.
We got to talk about it. I think that's a great
It's a
one.
beautiful
Incredible.
one. I'm upset that I didn't think about it first.
Yeah.
a good one.
This Wall-E was top tier Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pixar did a really good job on that.
Top 5 for sure.
And then Horizon Zero Dawn. Just talked about it a second ago. I thought that was a beautiful, like visually stunning game. Well written, interesting characters. Just all around a good game.
Cool.
Haven't played the new one yet because that's for PS5, but I'll get one eventually.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Also, honorable mention. There's a YouTube video from like our middle school days called End of Z World. I don't know if you remember this.
Maybe.
Okay, so
Oh,
here's the Earth.
Yep.
Chilling.
That's all you had to do.
Dang, you got that sweet Earth, you might say. Wow. Ruling out the ice caps melting, meteors becoming crash into us, the sun exploding, and the ozone leaving. We're definitely going to blow ourselves up. Yeah. I got that whole thing
Incredible.
like
YouTube
right up
was
here.
wild back
And
then.
what's insane, I haven't watched it since then. I just still remember the whole
It
video.
was that impactful.
But I am tired. We'll have a nap. Zen fires and missiles. That's it. That's what I got. Enjoy that.
Thank you.
About that time, chaps? Righto.
I hate it here.
That whole. I'll show it to you later. don't
Okay, cool. Okay, so mine are, I'm not going to name all of them since we already named some of them, like the video games and whatnot. Men in Black.
Does this qualify?
It does. I think so. Because in each movie, it is the potential end of the world with the aliens.
But they don't actually. It doesn't actually happen.
I mean, true, but
I mean, if we're including almost apocalypses, that changes my entire list.
yeah.
No, that's what he's saying. Like he didn't include almost apocalypses.
It has to actually be an apocalypse.
I guess.
Sorry. I'll allow it.
No,
though,
keep
'cause
going, keep
Men
going.
in
I
Black
mean,
is good.
I'm just.
I feel like-
I'm just fighting just to fight.
Men in Black is
Because
good.
then
I'll allow
I just
it.
recently watched like all three of them, and I watched the third one, and that one was like the closest one to like being the end of the world.
There's 4.
Whoa, is there really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fourth one is Chris
Chris,
Hemsworth
yeah.
and Tessa.
From Thor.
Oh yeah,
What is her last name?
that is new. Okay, well,
Haven't seen it.
I'm gonna put
You can keep it
specifically
there. You already said
the
it.
third one because that's the one I think of, and it was like genuinely almost end of the world.
That's close.
Because it was like the light of Zartha or whatever it was. Cool. And then they talked about what was going to happen if they had gotten
right.
the light, and it was
right.
like everyone will die. It will be the end of
It
humanity.
ended a lot of
So-
worlds. Not ours, but it ended a lot of
All
worlds.
right, there you go. You
Right.
get away with it.
Yeah,
I'll
thank
allow
you.
it.
Next one is Zombieland.
Great
Oh,
stuff.
great one.
Just a hilarious version of like if zombies were to exist in Rome. And
I work
find-
with
tap.
I
Yeah.
work with a guy that sounds just like Jesse Eisenberg in this movie. So yesterday we were at the meeting afterwards. We were just kind of hanging out, and one of my other coworkers pointed it out, and I was like, "Oh my God, you're right." So we're like feeding him lines to say. We're like, "Talk about Bill Murray." No, I don't want to do that. That's not safe. What are your rules for survival? I'm not playing this game, guys.
That's great. My third one is Warm Bodies. That came out in I don't know, I
That's a
wanna say-
rom-com, right?
Yeah.
It's a Zom rom-com.
Zom.
Zom
rom-com.
rom-com. And so that was really cool, I guess. 2012, obviously.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I was like freaking, I don't know, 9 when that came out, or like 10. Because it came out before 2012, I think. Or did it come out after 2012?
I think
I
it came out the
definitely-
year. I think
Did
came
it
out the year.
really?
I think so. I think they planned it out that way.
You have a computer? Look it up.
I mean,
Yeah.
true. Because I wanted to assume that was the case, but I wasn't for sure. Is
Right.
it 2009?
Was it really?
Yeah. So
Oh,
I
that's
was
weird.
9. Yeah. Because they prepared us for,
I was
Do you
18.
think they actually built those ships? The giant cruise liners or whatever?
You know someone out there is.
Ooh.
I know I'm going to get one if I ever win the lottery.
Yeah.
My
Good luck with
my multi-millions of dollars will be going not to investments and protecting the world, but just building a big enough boat,
Just a big boat
just big boat
Where are you going to store the big boat?
in a mountain.
near my family's property in Rotan.
There you go.
I guess I don't know.
That'll be the size of that whole island.
Yeah, but it'll be like off to the side.
You got money. Just camouflage it.
Yeah,
Be off
I'll
to the
have,
side.
I'll have millions of dollars,
This is
so
true.
I'll just build a really long rope bridge that goes from my house on top of the mountain all the way to my boat.
Good point.
I'll come pick you guys up.
Cool.
Meet me on the coast,
Appreciate it.
Oh, if we make it in
What
time.
coast?
the new coast, whichever one is the newest one.
Whichever one we can find. My next
Shoot a
one
flare.
is 1984 by George Orwell. I don't know if that technically counts.
Yeah.
Because it's more like
It's more like a
Dystopian.
societal.
Yeah, it's a society ending scenario.
right.
Yeah.
Does that count though?
I would count it, but it's definitely different.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna keep it.
All right.
It's like Men in Black 3.
I'll allow
It's got a little twang,
We'll
but
allow it.
it's valid. And then the last one was The Day After Tomorrow. I remember it's got Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's basically where everything kind of just freezes over.
Dennis Quaid. Yeah.
Yes. I remember watching that. I watched it like a couple years after it came out, but when I did watch it, I was like, if this were to occur, like if the Earth just froze over, I would not have.
Oh, yeah, I hate the cold.
Yeah,
I'm done.
just die willingly. I'd be like, take me out.
Take the L.
Take the L.
All right. Well,
Oh, man.
if you guys have any fun end of the world media that you enjoy that you don't think we have seen, please let us know, because
Yeah.
I'm on this end of the world kick now, and I'm trying to watch everything that has to do with that.
And what do you think would be like the worst way to go, like as a civilization? What do you think? Let us know.
I think probably the sun exploding.
Ooh.
No, that'd be really quick.
It would take us 8 minutes to ever even know that it was happening.
Right. But our gravitational, well, I guess not with our, never mind, I take that back, wouldn't be that quick. It would be dark, but
It would be very hot and painful.
Well, if it exploded, wouldn't it just?
We would melt.
Yeah.
oh, okay. Oh, so you're talking about like you're talking about explosion, like engulf the earth. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's not
Yeah.
bad because it's quick. We
We
wouldn't
would-
even know what happened.
But we would melt.
Yeah, but you wouldn't even know it. It'd be so quick.
I think it would more like it would just evaporate.
Right.
You. Like you would just.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no,
you
no,
could-
no, no, no. You got to understand. We're not 8 minutes away from the sun as travel. We are 8 light minutes,
I know
which
that.
means an explosion would not travel at the speed of light. It would be a lot slower than that. So it wouldn't just be like, we're all dead. It would heat up the earth fast. Like it'd go from 0 to 100 in like an hour. But we would feel every degree of that increase and melt before we died.
I don't know. I need you to show
The
your
human
work.
body would melt.
I need you to show your work.
I think that makes sense to me.
At least that's what I would
I'm
think.
picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
I know the speed of light is different, but I'm saying like if the explosion is going, it's not going to go slow.
True.
It's going to go slow enough for us to feel it, though. That's the thing.
I don't know.
but we're the third planet from the sun. You know.
So Mercury and Venus are going first. That doesn't mean we're not going.
Yeah.
Well, but they're also on different. What is that?
It's pretty close.
The eternal thing.
Orbits.
The only one that's
Thank
really off is like Neptune or something.
Yeah, but even then, we're not all in a line.
No, but we're all relatively horizontal, or I mean, depending on your perspective. But
Vertical in some perspective.
yeah,
Diagonal in
Anyways.
others.
the same
This is
plane.
hurting my
That's the
brain.
word, plane.
Well,
What
yeah,
do you
but
think
even
the end
then
of the world
it's-
will be like? That's what we're getting to. What do you think the end of the world will be like? How do you think we're going? Do you think it'd be worth trying to survive? Do you think it's even possible? Let us know in the
There
comments.
you go.
As of right now, we're going to go take a quick break, have a listen to these messages from our sponsors. If we put it here, we might put it in the first one. I don't really know. We'll see you guys soon.
We'll figure it out.
Welcome back. If you are watching us on YouTube, I would like to first and foremost start my 3-part apology by saying that you're a wonderful person, and I appreciate everything you do. Secondly, our video footage was a little screwed up due to an error on someone's behalf. We are not going to say who. We're not going to name names. But somebody among the 3 of us screwed up somehow, and our footage was ruined. So I apologize for that. And thirdly, we will do better in the future, hopefully. We'll do our best to try. Anyways, coming back from the break, we are here to answer some of your fan questions. You can send us questions through our email, through comments, through text if you have our personal number. You can also call us on our Always More hotline, which is just a voicemail. We will not answer, I promise.
No one's going to answer.
No anxiety. You don't have to talk to us in person. But that phone number is,
254-218-4042.
once again, the phone number is.
254-218-4042.
We also have the option for anonymous questions, which
Yeah.
I'm still not sure how you do that. I don't understand.
You have to
social
go to our
media.
link, go to our website, and it's at the bottom. It says Ask Anonymous.
Anonymous questions. Speaking of which, we got one of those, which was spill the tea on your first kiss. Now, is this your first kiss ever or your first kiss with your current partner?
I mean,
I'm going to say ever.
see, mine doesn't really. I mean, I guess it counts. I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
same.
I was also a child.
Yeah.
Why are we kissing so young?
I think it's because of the media.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Well,
And I'm assuming your first kiss was with a girl.
yes.
Mine was also with a girl. Yours with a boy, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if anybody's indoctrinating children to be sexualized, seems like it's straight people. Just throwing that out there. Anyway.
Crazy concept. Mine was also the theme of a wedding. Our sisters were friends, and so they forced us to dress up. I was in a wedding dress, and he was a groom, like put on like a black shirt or something, and they forced us to say "I do," and he was my best friend in school because we, same ages, whatever, and so it was so gross. Because they were like, you guys say I do and kiss. And then we did it. And then I think I went to the bathroom and washed my mouth out.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry.
Did Hunter know the story before?
No.
So you're cheating on your husband with Hunter. Did you ever get a divorce?
No.
Well, Harley.
Do you still talk to this man?
No. We're separated.
Separation isn't a thing.
It is.
They're on a break.
We were on a break.
It's been years.
Well, maybe you should call him one day and ask him for a divorce.
I don't even
He's
think
going to
I
be so
have
confused.
Hey, do
What?
you remember?
What are you talking
Elementary
about?
school?
Yeah, so mine very similar. I was actually playing house with the neighbor kid that lived next door. I was husband, she was a wife, so I kissed her
Right.
because that's what husbands and wives do.
Yeah. Mine was a little bit more like I was ashamed for whatever reason. We were hiding underneath my bed.
You know why you were ashamed.
We hid under our bed and we just, I don't even remember that there's an actual story to it, but we just hid under our bed and shared a peck and that was it. Like nothing dramatic or crazy, but I remember like feeling shamed for it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then
Shame after the kiss?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't tell my parents or anything, but yeah.
Yeah. Premarital shit.
Premarital
How dare
kissing.
you?
How
Yeah.
dare you?
For
You
shame.
sinner.
Yeah, well, that's it.
I think, though, we should probably give the crowd what they actually want.
They want like the
kisses
first
with
like
our-
romantic.
With our romantic partners at the moment. I'm assuming you've already kissed Hunter.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah.
Kissed him good. All right, Tim.
My first kiss with Jess, she was graduating from college, and I drove all the way up to Oklahoma to see her graduate, and it was actually where we went on our first date. But it was the night of her graduation, if I remember correctly, and we were out doing something. We came back, and it was in front of her grandma's door, her house, and the door, and it was just like a good night, Hey,
Good old fashioned.
we're here. Good old fashioned,
Wow.
yeah.
When she went inside, did you do the little dance?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know you did.
Yeah, went back to the truck and but it was like everything was leading up to that day and that moment. So it was like this big final like hoorah. So yeah, I was dancing.
You knew it. You knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So Hunter and I think our first kiss was after a pool hall, like hangout thing. So we went to go play pool together. And this was like at the very beginning of us talking. So I didn't even know if this man liked me or not. Because he was so hard to read. And so like we were just like, hanging out. And then we like sat at the bar and like we started like bonding over stuff. And it started getting, a little bit deeper. And I was like, whoa, maybe he does like me. Cool. I like him. And then obviously the bar closed. And so then we went outside and I think we sat in his car and he was like showing me music and whatever, like the same corny shit.
Oh yeah.
And then he just kind of like
You put on the move.
right, yeah.
Was it the arm over,
Oh,
over
yeah.
the shoulder?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And then he just like I was
Classic.
like sitting there and he was like staring at me and then
Just kind of happened.
yeah. And he kissed me and I was like, "What?" Consent. I'm just kidding.
He didn't even ask.
Nah.
The cad.
Classic.
But yeah, it was
All
cute.
right. So my first kiss with Janelle was probably it could have been different, but it was not in a bad way.
No,
Like,
I know.
So our first kiss was actually based on a bet that I definitely manipulated the bet, and she didn't even. I don't think she realized it until afterwards. She would have kissed me either way, but like. All right, so here's the thing. We were watching National
You're
Geographic.
telling me your relationship was built on a lie?
On a bet?
We were watching National Geographic, right? And this guy was lost at sea. And for some reason, I was like, you know what? I think he's going to get rescued by pygmies. He was off the coast of, I don't even remember what country, but I was just like, you know what? Pygmies. That's what's going to happen. Just almost as a joke. And she was like, no, I don't think that's going to happen at all. It's probably the Coast Guard or like a normal person would decide on something. And I was like, I'll tell you what. If he's rescued by pygmies, I win. If he's rescued by the Coast Guard, you lose. Sound good? And she was like, all right, fine. It's kind of one of those like Scooby-Doo, heads I win, tails you lose things. So I won. He was actually rescued by pygmies. So
What?
Yeah, if you're listening, always bet on pygmies. It's always a safe bet to bet on the pygmies. But he was rescued by pygmies. And I was just like, there's no way I won this. Like, what just happened? And the bet was for a kiss. So I won a kiss. She had to kiss me.
Nice.
Which, I mean, even if I had done the bet the proper way, like if she's right, she wins. If I'm right, I win. The prize was still a kiss. So either way, like
either way, you got to kiss.
we were making out that day. It was gonna happen. But that was my first kiss with Janelle, and we've been
Incredible.
together ever since.
Oh, you kids.
All right. So to answer that anonymous question, boom.
There you go.
Moving
There's
right
all
along.
of that information.
That was a lot of info, right? A lot of personal info. Forget you heard any of that. Our next question comes again from Chelsea Solis. She gave us a lot of questions. I
She did.
appreciated that.
I'm trying to get through them because you did a lot.
No, thank you, Chelsea. We need questions.
Yeah, please, thank you.
She asked, what's better, book smart or street smart? As someone who is, I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit. I am both, I think. I'm pretty book smart and I'm pretty street smart. I would say street smart is better.
It depends, I think. Are we talking about the apocalypse and you need to know how to survive? Or are we talking about, like, are you trying to build a civilization?
This is
Just
his
in general.
This is his book smart side talking.
Yeah, like in general. Book
That's my point, though.
Okay, but look, book smart, yes, you understand in theory how to do these things. Street smart, like let's talk about agriculture for a second.
Yeah.
Book smart and agriculture. You know that you take a seed, you plant it in the ground, you water it, and it grows.
Right.
Street smart says if I'm planting hibiscus, I need to plant it at a high elevation, and it needs to have a slope so the water doesn't drain into it and it overwaters. Like, these are street smarts that you need to know.
Yeah, but those
The
things
book smart wouldn't help you.
But those things go into books, so you learn those things.
Not always.
No, I understand what you're saying. Like,
Like-
there's certain
Like,
things
this
that tricks
fishing
that you
spot
learn.
is the best spot for fishing.
Right.
You're not going to catch anything here. But book smart, you just know the fish like this bait.
Right.
I'm going to go out into the water, throw it in, and hopefully I'll catch something.
But, like, Book Smart will tell you, okay, but if you just build this certain tool, it'll help you out. Or, like, in how to build it. And
Street Smarts says Tim knows how to build that tool. I'm going to be Tim's friend.
yeah.
That is how my life includes a character reference, a lawyer, a chef,
Yeah.
a guy who can do pretty much anything with technology, computer people. I've got all of that stuff in my life because of the people I surround myself with.
You're the guy.
I'm the guy. I've got a guy for everything.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's street smarts.
I agree with your first comment. It's kind of both. Like, I think it really just depends on the situation and what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go in life.
I would go with street smart.
I win.
Okay.
Street smarts.
But that's just because I think being street smart has gotten me out of a lot of situations that could have been bad.
Book smart wouldn't actually get you into situations.
Right.
Like you
sometimes.
standing on the porch when the SWAT are invading some house 2 houses over.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with you.
That's
And
book
street
smart.
smart
Because
is you telling him to get inside.
You know, in theory, you having a gun outside protects your home. You know you have the right to own a gun. And you know that a dangerous situation sometimes requires defense. Street smart says, cops don't care. Get inside.
yeah.
Criminals don't care. Get inside.
Right, yeah,
You might miss your shot. Get inside. A brick wall will protect you better than standing outside holding a gun. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, so our next question comes from my lawyer, Kira, who asked, who is the most underrated Disney character? I put Sgt Tibs. He's a little cat from 101 Dalmatians who heard the twilight bark as a cat, mind you, translated the twilight bark to a dog, and then on his own led 101 animals to safety, saved their lives from Cruella de Vil, all in a single evening,
Right.
doing something where most cats would just mind their own business.
Right.
Sgt. Tibbs is a hero.
Hero.
He's an absolute hero in my book.
Yeah.
And Agatha, wherever you are over there, if you can be 1/10 of the man that Sgt. Tibbs is, you're all right in my book.
All right.
She's a female cat, so
I don't
that's a
care.
bit of a
You never
problem.
be half the man your mama was.
Mine that I chose was Pacha
That's a good one.
from
That's
the
a good
Emperor's
choice.
New Groove.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
'Cause-
Solid.
Literally, this man got told by Cusco, "Hey, I'm gonna take your house. Sorry, bud."
And he still saved his life.
And he still saved him.
I
He
would've let him
housed
die.
him.
And he went back twice, didn't he?
Yeah,
For him?
I would have let him die.
freaking crazy.
Like the Emperor just got turned into a llama.
Right.
Yeah. Easy. I'll take that llama back and put it to work.
I mean, other than what's her name?
Yzma.
Other than her trying to kill, Cusco, is there any evidence that she wouldn't have been a good queen?
Yes. In the first 2 minutes of the movie, when she's talking to the peasant, and she says, "Well, it's none of my concern if your family had
Oh, that's good.
what was it? Food? Should have thought about that before you
Forgot
became
about
poor." She's an awful ruler. But
Alright,
she
fair
also probably would have died a year or two later. So
yeah.
before anything ever got implemented, she'd have been.
And Kronk is really good.
But Kronk's
No,
he's not underrated at all.
Oh,
He is
absolutely not.
appropriately rated.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Mine is Sadness from Inside Out.
Really?
I think you at the end of the movie you see the importance of sadness, and I think that's a really important thing, especially with kids, to understand that your sadness is okay. And I think a lot of parents don't take that for granted when it comes to
pissed me off.
sadness. Sadness?
Yeah.
Quit touching things.
Stop touching.
You're breaking everything. Stop. That was my thing. But no, I think you're probably right. That's why
In the grand scheme of it,
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
a lot of child therapists are using that movie to help explain emotions and feelings, and not everything that attracts sadness initially is an inherently sad or bad thing.
Right.
That was kind of the mix of the core memories. Sometimes it's sad, but it's also a good thing that it happened this way. It's kind
Right.
of cool.
Yep. So yeah, that's mine.
All right. Final thoughts? And since we're talking about apocalypses, they would be our final thoughts.
Damn.
A double down. I got a double down.
Guys, vote smart. Who do you really want to have the nuclear codes? Just think about it. Just think about it twice.
They've all got to be changed now anyway.
Take care of the planet.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Let's do better.
Can we just not kill the Earth for our kids?
Oh yeah.
Can we just agree to put people first?
Yeah.
All people, not specifically this group of people or power or money. You can have all the money in the world and it's not going to protect you from the world ending.
Yeah.
And don't create biohazards to kill off entire populations.
I mean, if you have that urge, I can send you 3 iPhone games right now to play.
Yeah,
I was playing one on the plane, and this
Yes.
lady next to me got concerned, and I was like, "It's a game." She's like, "What is that?" It's just a
What is
game."
that?
Just a game.
She's like, "Ah, okay."
Chris is
Yeah.
sending biohazards across the world. This lady's like,
I made
who
one.
do I call?
Were you playing Plague Inc?
Yeah.
No, it's the free version of Plague Inc.
Oh, okay.
But
remember when it used to
I
be
named
free?
It, yeah,
Right.
In general?
I named
I
it
still have
Bean
it.
Flu after my daughter, and I killed everyone. I killed everyone except Madagascar. I could never get Madagascar. So one
you
time I
kidding?
started on Madagascar, got everybody.
Nice.
So as long as you start on Madagascar, you'll kill everyone.
Iceland, that's where I started.
King Julian.
Iceland's a good one too.
I started Iceland.
Yeah, because it's cold climate, but it's a high population.
Right next door to it. Yeah.
Lots of shipping, lots of planes. They've got a really cool airport. You can get Greenland right there as well, which is another hard one to get.
That or New Zealand. One of those two.
I never
New-
had a problem with New Zealand.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because New
Australia-
Zealand is, you got China right there, and once you get China, I mean, it's
Yeah,
gone.
and I think starting in the States or China is cheating
Oh yeah, absolutely.
because that's it. Those are the 2 biggest exporters of anything. So
Right.
start with those and then put your disease on rats or planes or boats or doesn't matter. You know, we're getting into this for a lot. There are a lot of fun games you can play that involve the end of the world. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all we needed to say on this particular topic. So,
well, about time to hit
the old dusty trail. Hopefully, if you guys are desiring, you can survive the apocalypse as it comes, because it's coming soon.
To a theater near you.
Coming soon to a theater near you. And also a hospital near you. And also a store near you. And everywhere else. It's going to happen.
God.
Damn.
The way we're going now, it's going to happen a lot sooner than later. Probably. Actually, Harley, your generation might save us.
Don't put that on us.
But not because we're pressuring you to doing it.
I think you are.
We're not. We're hoping that it happens. I think what's going to happen is you guys are going to bully all of our generation and older into accidentally saving the world.
Stop it.
Gags.
Like, people are going to be scared of you guys for, like, outing their bank account info and their credit cards and their addresses.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, well, now I got to vote right. I got to do the right thing. And that's going to save the world.
Oh, I hope so.
No
I
pressure.
don't know. The kids who
Just
are younger than me are even scarier.
Keep doing what y'all are doing. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Ellie is going to be revolutionary for sure.
Yeah.
Keep doing what y'all are doing, though, and I think we might be all right.
Yeah.
Let's pull in together, everybody.
All right. Thank you guys once again for listening to our podcast, for being a part of this conversation.
Yes.
We love it. Love it here with you guys. Be sure to subscribe, leave a rating on your favorite podcast platform, and make sure it's the top tier rating. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Always More Pod. Tim, what's your social media handles?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok at Timothy Lichty. It's Liechty.
I am on Instagram as Captain_CT Ford and TikTok as Christopher.Lionheart. Harley?
I'm on Instagram at whatharley, WUT Harley, and on TikTok at harleybean.co.
Thanks again for listening, being a part of the conversation, and remember, there is always more than this.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Always More podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, share, like, and rate on whatever your platform of preference is. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Always More Pod. If you'd like to submit a question, you can ask us on any of our social media platforms, or you can leave us a voicemail at 254-218-4042. If you'd like to feed into our caffeine addiction as well as support the podcast financially, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/alwaysmorepod. For further information and to contact us, you can email us at alwaysmorepodcast@gmail.com.